Okay, we are in the post-game press conference after Long Beach State's victory, 3-1 victory over San Diego State tonight. Coach, can we have an opening statement on tonight's victory?
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, want to thank Long Beach Nation for coming out. It's always great to see a packed crowd, and I think there's multiple moments where we talk a lot about living in the present and living in the joy, and to look up and see our crowd cheering and in it with us, it just means so much to these girls and this team. So it's great to have that support behind us. And to be honest, we need more of it. So we're really excited to have more home games and host the Big West tournament in November. And I also want to thank San Diego State for coming up and playing a great tournament. They have some legends on their coaching staff, and one of them has his jersey hung here. So it's really special to be able to host them and bring Brent back to the Pyramid.
Question for the table. After dropping the first set, you hit your highest 270 in the second set. What were the kind of key changes there to turn things around?
Shout out one player, I think Nico. She always brings the energy, but I think this match, it was definitely heightened. So I think that she really helped the team. And yeah.
Yeah, we just, after the first set, we just said, like, that's not our volleyball. And even though it was still a close set, we just were like, that's just not us, and we got to be better. But we trust everyone on the court to do their thing, so.
It's really frustrating in the first set when you're up and you feel like you're in control of the match to go down and have them stack some points. And, you know, I think there were some, I think there was a lot of accountability on our side in that first set of why it got dropped. And to see this team say no more is one thing, but then to be able to live it is another. So that was something we talked a lot about this weekend, is just taking action in those moments and being able to be aggressive, because we can't play like that. We can't play on our heels like that.
Kind of a similar question in a broader range. There's lots of back-to-backs on this schedule. To be able to kind of finish the back-to-back really strong, how important is that throughout the schedule?
Really important. We have a lot of back-to-backs with the Big West Conference, and you know, we're really thankful for our schedule and being able to host so much. It's great being in the Pyramid, but it just, the back-to-back thing is hard for me because, like, we got to show up 1 to 25, and that's the first match and the last match, and I don't think there's much excuse there from us. We have lapses, and like any team, there's some wave and some momentum in that, but we got to shorten those.
For the table, block came back tonight. I think that was something that we talked about last night. I think it was a 10-5 advantage for Oregon last night, 14-5 for Long Beach State in 4 sets. What was kind of the key to bringing that front row defense back there?
You guys want to comment on that?
I think, like I said before, like just energy. I think the energy on the court, we really went for it. And I think that really helps, especially with the middles being so out and, you know, open today with, you know, supporting the team. I think it was really easy to trust our system and just go for balls and try and get big stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, our middles just always want more, and a huge part is in practice, we block against our coaches every day. We block against all 4 of our guy coaches and our amazing, awesome managers, and so that just makes us better. They're hitting harder, they're faster, strong. Like, it's makes us better, so that we're prepared for anything that comes our way.
I do want to shout out Jordan Molina and our coaching staff did an awesome job with this scouting report, which helps a ton. And we made a joke. I think we were like in the first set, and at one point we were like, I think we have more blocks right now than we did all of yesterday. But it really was an incredible scouting report. And one thing we talked a lot about was their middle offense, and you know, their top hitter hit -150, which is huge in terms of being able to slow her down. So I think executing that scouting report was really, really big time by our coaching staff.
Yeah, and Jordan got a dig in the 4th set.
Weird.
And Maddie, for you, I think one of the things in the first weekend you were able to tally a lot of kills, but I think last night and then tonight, less than 5, which is kind of your number in the first weekend. But what do you see when you're up there in the front row and maybe sometimes in the back row getting kills?
I really like to be aggressive. When other teams scout well, you know, it's obviously a lot harder to be aggressive because they're calling you out, they're talking to the net, like setter, setter, setter. But I think it's just a really big opportunity just when I have amazing hitters, and so it's so much easier for me to trust that than it is to trust my dumping. But also when it opens up, it's way easier because we have blockers releasing on our amazing offense, and then it opens it up for me pretty easily. So.
Question for Maddie. So you had a lot of assists tonight, spread the wealth a lot to all of your hitters. What was working for you up there at the net, and what allowed you to distribute so well tonight?
We talk a lot about distribution. Almost every time out, I'm talking to Natalie and Mike about distribution using all of our hitters. There's not one position on the court that's better than any other hitters on the court. And like I said, I trust literally anyone to go up and take a huge rip or swing. So just really trying to mess with the other side and distribute it everywhere.
Awesome.
So, as we already mentioned, 14 blocks tonight for you guys. It was a really strong effort at the net. Is that physicality on defense something you're going to look to try and bring into more matches? And is that going to try and be a focal point for you guys this year?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talk a lot about our standard, and this is our standard. I think blocking wise, we did a great job tonight. We just got to execute it more. And we're capable of it. We see it every day in practice. It's just a matter of not getting caught up on the wrong things when we're watching the opponent and making sure that our hands are in the right spot.
So, Maddie, for you, when you already talked a little bit about those dumps and how you can get aggressive at the net, coming from being an attacker last year and now setting, how tough is it to find that middle ground between getting too aggressive and being able to set up your attackers and kind of find that middle ground where you're aggressive in both areas?
I really think about trying to catch them on their heels. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes my dumping isn't smart enough in the right situations or the right decision. But I slowly start to learn that. I would shout out Mike Ma, our assistant. He's really good about he's like, I'm going to tell you where the blockers are in certain rotations, and I'm going to tell you where to dump. And that last dump, actually, he was like, you got to go for sidelines. And so I give credit to him for that because I wouldn't have figured that out on my own. So.
During those final timeouts for the game in the last set, with it being such a close game, the Aztecs being kind of on your heels, kind of maybe going into the fourth set, what was your guys' mindset just, as a team and as a coach, just going to push through to hopefully end the game, and you guys did?
Yeah, we talk a lot about trusting yourself, trusting your teammates, trusting your training. And I think that takes a lot of being able to let go of control. And that can be hard for a lot of people in those moments. But I thought the girls lived it today. We also talk about all in, ball out and what that means to us and just leaning into those moments because really we're our best when we're aggressive.
I was going to say the same thing, like aggression. And I also think we talk about stopping the bleed a lot when we're letting go of a few too many points, like just finding a way, if that's managing, to, work our way out of it. And so I think that we did well at that tonight.
And what does this win mean to you guys as a team as a whole, and how do you guys mechanically and just mentally pushing forward through the season are going to get through the games?
Hungry.
We talked after last night. I've told a lot of people that was not Long Beach Volleyball last night, and we sent a text in the group chat and said, feel it tonight, whatever you want, be pissed off, but tomorrow's a new day. We all day today during serve and pass whenever we said nothing about tomorrow, nothing said about yesterday. And I think we just we kept talking we're hungrier, we have to want everything more than anyone else does. And I think that really drove us to that point.
Okay. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you
you
all.
guys.
I couldn't speak.